Hello everyone, welcome to the next session in Jenkins series. So in this session, I will try to cover what is meant by Jenkins as a service. Okay, so people at the beginner level, they can get confused that when they run their Jenkins job, and sometimes browser will open when they start the automation test cases, and sometimes browser will not open. Okay, so when you are running your automation test cases and browser will not open, that means you are running your test cases in a headless mode, right? And sometimes when we start your automation start on actual browser. Okay, you will be able to see actual Chrome browser or Firefox browser opens on your local laptop. So I will try to cover these points with the example in this session. So these things, when you are running in headless mode or running on the actual browser, completely depends upon how we have installed your Jenkins server on your laptop. Okay, so these two things completely depend upon the Jenkins installation. So we have already seen how we can set up the Jenkins on your local system. There are two ways you can do the Jenkins installation. One is with the war file. Okay, Jenkins war file. That means we are going to deploy that war file with the help of command prompt, right? And another one is installing or setting up your Jenkins with the help of Jenkins Windows installer. Okay, so when we use this Jenkins Windows installer, that Jenkins will be installed as a Windows service. So what is the difference between these two? So when you use the Jenkins war file to deploy and start your Jenkins server with the help of command prompt, the Jenkins will be up and running until the command prompt is open. Okay, so the moment you close the command prompt, your Jenkins server will be stopped. So when you use the war file to start the Jenkins server, you need to make sure not to close the command prompt. Okay, and another thing is, when you use the war file to start the Jenkins server, when we start the automation from your Jenkins jobs, then actual browser will open when we start the Selenium test cases. Okay, so if we create any Jenkins job and when we run any automation from that, then actual browser like Chrome browser or Firefox browser will open, and you will be able to see what exactly happening on the browser. Okay, whereas opposite to this, if you use the Jenkins Windows installer to start the Jenkins service, okay, so then that Jenkins will be installed as a Windows service. Okay, so you don't require to start the Jenkins again and again with the help of command prompt. Once you install your Jenkins with the help of Jenkins Windows installer, it will be start whenever your system boots or reboots every time. Okay, so this Jenkins service will be started automatically when you start your laptop. So as it is installed as a Windows service, you will be able to start that service, or you will be able to stop that service as per your requirement. Okay, but by default it will be start automatically when your laptop start. And when we create the Jenkins job on that Jenkins server, and when we start our Selenium test cases, then the test will run in a headless mode. Okay, so actual browser will not open. So let's try to see this difference practically now. So in the previous sessions, we have these two files. One is Windows installer file and one is jenkins.war file. So by default, Jenkins will be started on the port number 8080, right? So currently, if you see, there is no service running on this local host 8080 because I have not started my Jenkins. And this Jenkins, jenkins.agautomation.com and port number 9999, this Jenkins I have installed as a Windows service. That's why it is always running. Okay, so I just need to sign in to my Jenkins server, and I will be able to start using this Jenkins. Okay, so first let's start the Jenkins service on this port number on the localhost. So for that purpose, just go to the file location where your Jenkins war file is available, and from here I will open the command prompt. So here you just need to run a simple Java command, java-jar space your Jenkins war file name, that is jenkins.war. So it will show you at the end Jenkins is fully up and running. Okay, so it has started our Jenkins on this port number 8080. Okay, so by default port of this Jenkins is 8080. So as our Jenkins service is up and running on this port number 8080, we will be able to use this Jenkins service now. Okay, and you need to make sure not to close this command prompt. Okay, so I will simply log in into the Jenkins now. So with the help of my credential, I will be able to use this Jenkins service now. Okay, so the moment I close this command prompt, I will not be able to use that service. Okay, so you can see if I close this now, close it. If I refresh this, that this site can't be reached. That means our Jenkins is stopped now. Okay, the moment you close the command prompt, your Jenkins will be stopped. Okay, so again, if you want to start the Jenkins, again you need to open the command prompt and start the service again. Okay, Jenkins is fully up and running. Okay, so this is how you can start your Jenkins with the help of Jenkins war file. And another one is this Jenkins. So this Jenkins service I have started or installed as a Windows service. Okay, with the help of Windows MSI installer. Okay, so if you see this, able to see that this is a Windows installer package. Okay, so this Jenkins installation I have done as a Windows service. That means I will be able to see that Windows service in the service section. Okay, so simply go to the services. Okay, so here you will be able to see the list of services available on your local laptop. So I will type Jenkins here. So here you can see this Jenkins description, Jenkins automation server, and status is running. Okay, and here you will see that startup type is automatic. That means whenever you start your laptop, when you are going to reboot your system, then that Jenkins service will be started automatically, right? And here on the left side you will get two options to stop the service and restart the service. Okay, so if I want to restart the service, I can simply click on that, and that will restart my Jenkins. Okay, so sometimes we may face the issue with the Jenkins. Okay, so that time we need to restart the Jenkins. So we can restart the Jenkins from here. Okay, so it is restarting the Jenkins. So you will be able to use the Jenkins when it is ready. So this Jenkins service you will be able to see on the services and also on the task manager as well. So if you open the task manager, go to the service section, and here also you will find the Jenkins service is listed. Okay, so this is currently running. So from here also I can stop the service, I can restart the Jenkins. Okay, so you have two ways, you can use the task manager or you can use these services. Okay, so let's try to see the another difference between these two, that is how we can open the actual browser when we start our automation, and how we can run our automation test cases in the headless mode. So for demonstration, let's try to run the same Maven project which is available on my local system from the both the Jenkins. Okay, so first let's try to run from the Jenkins that we started from the Jenkins war file. So I will open this Maven 1 Jenkins project, and in the configure, go to the build section, and here you can use this invoke top level Maven targets. Okay, so we have already seen how you can run the Maven project from the Jenkins. There are different ways by which you can do that. So one way to use the invoke top level Maven targets that you can get from this drop down. Okay, from here. So here you need to provide the Maven home, then goals as a test. So you can provide mun clean install, mun clean package also. So just provide the goal here. So I will provide clean. mun command you don't need to give. Okay, clean test, and click on advanced, and here you need to provide the location of your pom.xml file. Okay, so this is the project automate with the Selenium, and in that I have this pom.xml file. Okay, so one sample test case I am going to run from that project. Okay, so that we will be able to see when our actual browser opens. Okay, so these two things you need to provide, goal as a clean test and the location of your pom.xml file from the Maven project. Okay, so just click on apply and save. So just click on build now button. So build has started. So you can see actual browser has opened, and our automation is running on the Chrome browser. So you will be able to see what exactly happening on the Chrome browser. So it is executing the test steps whatever available in that test case. Now let's try to run the same project with the help of Jenkins, which was installed as a Windows service. Okay, this one. So for that purpose I can create a new item as a freestyle project. So here I will give Jenkins, let's say demo. This is my project name, this is freestyle project. Click on OK. Okay, so go to the build environment. From here select the invoke top level Maven targets. So here I will give the clean test again. click on advanced. So here I will give the same location. So same project we are going to run. So let me copy the location of our pom.xml file from the local system here. Okay, click on apply and save. Let's run this now. So when execution of your test case start, you will not be able to see any Chrome browser. Okay, so this time your automation will run in a headless mode. Build success. So that means when we start our automation, it is showing that only local connection are allowed, Chrome driver are started, but everything happened in a headless mode. Okay, so we did not see any Chrome browser open here from the local system, right? So your automation runs in a headless mode. Okay, so this is the two practical difference between these two, when we start the Jenkins as a war file and when we install the Jenkins as a Windows installer, as a Windows service. So that's all for this session, guys. I hope that this session will definitely help you to clear the doubts about the Jenkins installation. So still let me know if you have any question on this. Thank you.